This hunt here is going to be one of those hunts that I've been looking forward to since last winter. My buddy Dick Ferguson and I, we grew up in a little town in northern Minnesota called Big Falls. All of 500 people when we lived there. And Dick and I have been talking for years that someday we got to go hunt together again. Well, someday is here. The idea is Dick is going to hunt for mule deer because you can't hunt those in Minnesota. And I'm going to look for a whitetail.
Hang on.
We're here in southeast Montana, and any of you who've hunted southeast Montana know how much opportunity is here. Not just in terms of species, but in terms of amazing amount of terrain that you can hunt. Where I'm standing right here, this is called the Custer-Gallatin National Forest. Looking at a surface map, the green is National Forest. And when you look at southeast Montana, the Custer National Forest, Custer-Gallatin as they call it, has tons and tons of ground to hunt. And then you have all kinds of BLM land. And then you have on your map these little blue pieces that, if you look at a surface map, those are state trust lands. Your hunting license allows you to hunt there. And then in Montana, we have the block management program. Millions of acres here in southeast Montana enrolled in the block management program. If you want to come and do what Dick is going to do, come to do a public land hunt in southeast Montana, it's probably one of the easiest self-guided, on your own, come and do it hunts you'll ever do. One of the great things about growing up in small town America, like Dick and I did, as neighbors, as friends, our mothers were best friends, our families are friends, is that you just build a bond almost like brothers and sisters more than it is friends. And for Dick to be able to come out to Montana, my home state now, and spend a week with me deer hunting, it's just one of those things that I look forward to. As I get older, it's not so much about where I hunt, it's not so much about what I fill my tag with, it's mostly about who I spend that time with. It's way better than I thought it would be since the fire. When Dick got here, one of the things we were talking about is, all right, what should we do for a strategy? And I told him, hey, this forest has burned since the last time I was here, at least the places I've hunted. There's a lot of it that hasn't burned. But even though we're not going to have much time, I want to drive out to this place that I've hunted before and just see what it looks like after the burn. So the first night really wasn't much. It was mostly a reconnaissance expedition, trying to figure out, all right, this is what it looked like before, what's it look like now? And if there's one thing about the fire, besides all the food it's generated, it opened up the canopy. And it's way easier to hunt and glass this spot now than it used to be. Well, Dick, it wasn't a great outing for the first afternoon, but we didn't have a lot of time. So.
We got kind of late.
Yeah, but that's all right. I wanted to come up here and see what it looked like now that it had burned. Because last time I was here, these were all live pine trees.
Obviously a lot different.
So I think that ridge right back there, it's kind of a sanctuary because it's private on the other side. And it looks like in the snow, nobody wants to walk over there.
Nobody's been here, no?
It's only a mile and a half from the trailhead. In the morning, you'll kill Big Hank over there.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're ready?
In the morning.
Are you holding me to that?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I told Dick this first morning, let's go back up there. I have a general idea about the pattern of what the mule deer do there. And we probably went a mile and a half when we look out there And on the hillside across from us, there's a group of deer. We kind of park it for a minute and just look, and sure enough, there's a really nice buck in there. Well, Dick, what do you think?
Looks pretty good to me.
We done window shopping? You're about ready to make a purchase, you're saying?
I was ready yesterday.
He's a nice 4-point.
He works. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Well, then I'll just follow you. I mean, it's easy. We just walk right up there and shoot him, right?
That's all it takes, yeah.
All right.
That's what all them TV guys do.
Yeah.
Leupold's Fresh Tracks with Randy Newberg is brought to you by Leupold Optics, the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, Southeast Montana Tourism. Visit Southeast Montana. Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. We call the game. Kenetrek Boots for the trail less traveled. And by Go Hunt Insider, changing how hunts are found.
On the hillside across from us, there's a group of deer. We kind of park it for a minute and just look, and sure enough, there's a really nice buck in there. So we concoct this plan that I'm gonna go and make this big loop, let my scent blow towards those deer, and they'll get up and walk in front of Dick and he'll shoot them.
I'm seeing where there's a doe just went through a good lane. Yeah. Okay, I got him. Gotta take a step ahead. Can you see him? No. Just there. He's going right. See a bigger lane. Yeah.
This is so often the case in these burns, is even if the camera and the shooter are only 3-4 feet apart, when one has a shooting lane, the other may not have a filming lane, or vice versa.
Do you see him like he's right behind this dead tree in front of you?
Yep.
Do you see him?
Oh, okay, went back left.
One would have an open lane, the other wouldn't, and I mean, Dick did the right thing. You don't shoot unless you have a good shot.
Running now. He didn't stop.
Did he go over?
I think so.
I was kind of bummed because that was a really nice buck, and I would have really liked Dick to shoot it. But hey, first day, we got a lot of time. Let's not worry about it. Let's go find some more. On the second day, the idea was let's go back exactly where we were. Let's get up on those ridges and let's just glass and look and see what's there. And those of you who watch our show, you hear me talk about Tyler, our camera guy, how he's got eagle eyes. And so we're glassing all these deer and not finding any good bucks. And Tyler looks over, he's like, I think there's a good buck over there on that knob. And we get out the spotting scope. Sure enough, that buck that Dick had a short window of opportunity on, not much of an opportunity, the day before, that was the buck. I mean, what's the luck that the very first group of deer we come across holds the buck that we're hoping Dick can shoot? We'd chased him the day before. This time, if we play our cards right, we have him.
Oh, I see him. You see him now. Oh, I see a face of a deer that's glowing. Obviously no shot there. No.
We just gotta wait till they get more open spot. That's all.
He's got that one good opening. He's been in about 3 times, but he won't stay there.
He's just below the horizon where he's moving right.
You back there, Tyler?
I got him.
Hold on.
No, he's right behind a tree.
Funny, I can see him right now. Perfect. He's moving right.
You back there, Tyler?
I got him.
Oh, no.
No, right behind the tree.
Funny, I can see him right now. Perfect.
I don't know how Dick was feeling, but I do know it's nerve-wracking. When you think about sitting there and waiting and the adrenaline's rushing and the heart's beating, and the deer just isn't giving you the shot. Or sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. When it does, maybe the camera doesn't have the shot. If the camera has the shot, maybe there's brush in the way. I'm just watching it all, soaking it in, and I'm just like, don't worry, he'll come around.
You got him there?
Yep. Let's go when you're gonna shoot. Well, that's a good shot.
I hope so.
And you know what? Other thing, a good thing I just realized. What? He ran over the hill towards the truck.
Yeah,
I think it's all downhill there from there to the road, isn't it?
It is. It's about a half, maybe three-quarter mile to the truck from there.
Oh, and actually the road's closer than that, isn't it? Or the road kind of turns, doesn't it?
No, you're right.
I bet the road ain't
You're right.
3/8 of a mile from there.
You're right. If we get him straight down to the road and I walk back and get the truck, he's really close. That was because we were 2 miles up there yesterday.
I didn't want to shoot one there. I would have if you made me, but.
So now I understand the method to your madness.
Yeah.
All right.
There he is. Randy,
Yeah,
he's over here.
he dead?
Yeah.
Right here. This is a 308 Nosler partition at 325 yards when you shoot them in the heart. They don't go far. I couldn't have a greater way to spend a day deer hunting than have such a wonderful friend shoot his first mule deer. And we got over there, and that buck head went, I don't know, 30, maybe 40 yards before he collapsed. We walk up to it and it's this beautiful buck. Unbelievable, beautiful buck. Well, that was a lot of fun, Dick.
It was. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
It's been just an amazing experience. Just hope now we can get Randy a deer too.
One of the interesting things about hunting whitetails in the national forest is how few people do it. Most people associate whitetails with creek bottoms and river bottoms and agricultural areas, which in Montana, that's where the highest density of whitetails are, no question about it. But there's a lot of older bucks up here on the forest because they don't get hunted. Everyone's up here hunting mule deer, or hunting turkeys, or hunting elk. And the whitetails are kind of the overlooked animal up here in the forest. So if you're a whitetail hunter, don't overlook the possibility of coming to southeast Montana for a public land whitetail hunt. I know a lot of you say, well, whitetails, you gotta have access, you gotta go with an outfitter, you gotta lease property or whatever. No. Last year I showed you a hunt where you could hunt whitetails on public land. In southeast Montana, tags are abundant. As a non-resident, your draw odds are probably gonna be 100%. They have for the last 5 years, it's been 100%. And once you have that tag, you've got millions of acres to just go and hunt. Go and do what you wanna do. And when you get here, every little town in southeast Montana, from Glendive to Ekalaka to Broadus to Ashland to Hysham, Forsyth, Miles City, you name it, every one of them are set up for you, the hunter, especially the traveling hunter. So with Dick having his tag filled, we thought, how cool would it be if we could really keep up and fulfill the idea that one would shoot a mule deer, one would shoot a whitetail. And that's what we set out to do.
I see a dog coming underneath there. Yeah, it's a big 4K.
Yeah,
But we kept looking, no, small mule deer buck, no, mule deer buck. And we're sitting there, it's getting later and later in the day. I'm thinking, man, we got to get this done because we only got about an hour left. And that thought had no more than crossed my mind, and all of a sudden I see a couple whitetail does feeding, and I'm glassing. I told Tyler and Dick, I'm like, those whitetail does are out there again. That buck's gotta be somewhere near them. And I don't know, and maybe 3 or 4 minutes later, Tyler says, I think I got antlers. And out of the brush, here steps that buck. And I looked at my watch, I said, man, we've only got 45 minutes until the end of shooting light, and filming light ends before that. We better hustle. So, I think what we're gonna do, Dick, Tyler and I, we're gonna make a map dash for that ridge. We've got 45 minutes.
I'll wait here, I'll just slow you down.
All right, well, you get to tell us what happens if we blow it.
Okay.
Leupold's Fresh Tracks with Randy Newberg is brought to you by Howa Precision Rifles and Barreled Actions. Nosler, when your tag is drawn, make it count. Load Nosler up front. Sitka, specialized outdoor wear and equipment. Bowtech, refuse to follow. Arizona Game and Fish. And by Hunt by Onyx Maps, land ownership hunting maps.
So when Dick kind of said, you guys go, I said, looked at Tyler, let's go. We threw our packs on and we're shimmying down off the ridge, and we get right to the corner of the public boundary. And there's a stake in the ground there, exactly where my Onyx Maps chip says. It says Forest Service boundary here.
Just if you just need to pop shoot them, go ahead, because I'm offhand. I'll have it. It's like a man running 100 yards away. No way. But be ready for deer even closer. So if they start bumping, let's just run over the ridge and be ready.
And now we got to sneak up this little ridge. It's not much of a ridge, and we start sneaking and we can see all the mule deer does in front of us and then a little mule deer buck. And
He's right here. Yeah, he's right there somewhere.
we start kind of skirting to our right, hoping we can look up the basin further, and I look and there's a white-tailed doe 30 yards down from us feeding. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is not good, because our wind is going right to her. And how she didn't smell us immediately, I don't know. But, you know, she starts feeding, and pretty soon she's in a position where we're skylined. There's nothing we can do about it. We just got to hold still, and she's looking up at us. And I'm looking at Tyler, he's looking at me, and it's kind of the fact that we've done this together for a long time and that we're both hunters. We're both looking like the gig's up, and when the gig's up and she snorts and runs out of here, we better be on our feet and get up here into a shooting lane, because if that buck is in there, we're not going to have much of a chance.
Go up the ridge.
And we start trotting up the hill, and there's mule deer blowing out over here, and there's a mule deer buck standing there looking at us. So I put my binoculars up, I'm like, dang it, mule deer. As I'm looking around, Tyler's like, he's right below us. And that whitetail buck comes right from underneath us, maybe 60, 70 yards away.
I think you got him. Good job.
We walked up there, and I could not believe it was the same exact buck we had glassed in the morning. Big, heavy 4-point, little cheater on one side, palmation on the other, and just that quick, I had filled my Montana whitetail deer tag, and Dick and I had pulled off what we'd dreamed to do. 110 yards, offhand, how a handshake, as they say. What a beautiful gray-faced old buck. My. Thank you, Mr. Buck. Wow. This is gonna be one of those special hunts. Every year, I'm lucky that I get to do a few hunts where the memories are just special. And being able to spend 4 or 5 days in the hills of southeast Montana with a friend that's such a special person to me like Dick is. Even if I hadn't filled the tag, it would have been as much fun as I could have had.
Oh, he's heavy.
Yeah, he's got that cheater.
He's pretty.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Palmed out on that
Beautiful.
one side.
Yeah.
You're good luck, Dick.
Congratulations.
Man, for Dick to shoot a mule deer, for me to shoot a whitetail, for us to do it on public land the way we always do, and be in a place with so much opportunity and so many deer. It's gonna be a long time before I can top this one.